Howdy folks, sunny and south. Hope everybody doing real good. Fall is upon us. Matter of fact, I think today is the first day of fall. We're going to be whooping up a roasted tomato basil soup this afternoon. That is absolutely delicious. Pretty easy to put together, not a whole lot to it. But we're going to take it a little bit over the top. We're going to ladle it off into a bowl. Get some pastry crust on top. Get it in the oven. Let that puff up real nice. Get golden brown. So when you tap into this tomato soup, you got a pie crust on top, kind of like a pot pie. For this tomato soup, you're going to need some tomatoes, about 4 pounds. Them are Roma tomatoes. That's usually what I use for a tomato soup. I find that they work the best. You're going to need about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, some thyme, and you're going to need some basil. You can use some fresh basil. This is a slightly dried basil that's chopped up. You're going to need a red onion. Gonna need an egg and some heavy cream. Some of that cream will go in the soup, and then we'll use that egg and the cream to make a wash to put on top of this pie crust. And you're gonna need about 4 cups of vegetable broth or chicken broth. Let's get to cooking. Now to process these little Roma tomatoes, I like to go in here and just cut the core out. A little tough core. And then we'll cut these down the middle, just like that right there. Set them off to the side. And what we'll do is we'll get these and the onion and the garlic drizzled up with some olive oil, and we'll get it in the oven. Let all this roast off there for a little while, and then get it in a pot. Get this soup put together. Now this little red onion, we're just going to go in here and kind of slice this up into some moons here. And bust it up there a little bit. Drizzle some olive oil in here. Them garlic cloves in. Get them tomatoes in there. A little more olive oil. Just a little salt on. A little black pepper. Get everything coated up real good with the oil. Put a little thyme in here. Let that roast along with everything. We're going to put that in the oven 400 for about 45 minutes until this is roasted off real nice. We got the tomatoes out of the oven. I'm going to get this thyme out of here. In this roasting process, it kind of sweetens these tomatoes up a bit. Get a little caramelization on them for another level of flavor. And we're going to get these over in the pot. We're going to get us just a little bit of red flake in here, about a half a teaspoon. We're going to get this vegetable broth in. Another little pinch of salt. A little more black pepper. I'm going to get about a tablespoon of this lightly dried basil in there. We'll taste that here shortly, see if it needs more. Alright, we got that up to a little simmer. I'm going to reduce the heat on it. We're going to get a lid on it. We're going to let that cook there about 30 minutes. See y'all back shortly. We've been simmering about 25-30 minutes here. We're going to get a stick blender off in there and get that smoothed out. Looking pretty good, smells delish. See what it's talking about. That's a pretty good tomato soup. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil in there. I'm going to put just a little bit of Parmesan cheese in. About a tablespoon. Consistency looks pretty good to me. If you wanted to thicken this up, put a little cornstarch in there, or you could have simmered it down with the lid off and let it reduce and evaporate a bit. I'm going to put me a little bit more basil in. About another teaspoon ought to do it. I'll turn the fire off on this. We're going to get us a little bit of heavy cream in, about 1/4 of a cup. Give this a taste. Probably going to need a little salt with the cream going in there. Pretty good. A little salt. This is ready to go in the bowl. We'll get us some pastry on top. We're just going to cut this out a little bit larger than the bowl itself. We got the egg yolk. I'm put a little dash of cream in there. Just a little wash for that pastry. We're going to pop that in the oven, 400 degrees, for about 15-20 minutes until that crust is nice golden brown. That soup is going to steam. It should puff up. See y'all back shortly. Well, we got our soup done. That little crust right there goes real good with that tomato soup. That is delicious. Very comforting. Roasted tomato basil soup. Just as good in a regular bowl. Some little breads. Outstanding. That's it, folks. It's a way to make up a very nice, comforting fall soup. Some roasted tomato basil soup. Till next time. Peace.